hello, and welcome to the sound. We're gonna do some magical music here from the great Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin. We're gonna get the lead out live. And this is gonna be from 1973. That's right. I was still a spermie at that point.
I wasn't even born yet.
You mean an egg?
I was still, yes, okay, I was still an egg at that point. Like, I don't know, whatever, you got the joke anyway. Long before I was born, but, one of the things I've learned about Led Zeppelin live performances, and this is, of course, this is a rule of thumb, is that generally earlier tends to be better because, Robert Plant wasn't quite as strung out. So I really, really enjoy, I'm going to enjoy this. This is possibly my favorite Zeppelin song, but it's definitely my favorite Zeppelin song to sing and cover. Over the Hills and Far Away. It's just such an awesome acoustic song. And the words, they're a little bit racy, but it's just fun, and it's just, I don't know, it's got such a good feel to it, and I don't know, it's just a cool song. I always liked all the riffs in it. It's just the seamless transitions, the way it flows. And so I'm really excited to see a fantastic live concert version of this. I've never seen this before live.
Houses of the Holy doesn't get as much credit as all the first four Led Zeppelin records. Mm-hmm. I think it's honestly superior to 4, and that's not a popular opinion, but just because it kind of veers off and experiments, but it does so in I feel like it's a very focused fashion, unlike Physical Graffiti, which I feel is a very unfocused record. There's still great songs on there, but it lacks focus. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I mean, and at this point I feel like Zeppelin was they were already so huge that they were really starting to do a lot of stuff that they wanted to do more so than just the stuff the producers and the crowd wanted, if that makes sense. And because this song, I mean, it's legendary, but I don't know, I just can only imagine just back in the day, maybe not being quite as pop as some of their other stuff. Not that they were pop, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They definitely were guided to fame, and like I said, I like stuff that's a little bit more nichey. I'm saying Jethro Tull is really, I love that. Blackmore's Night, I'm going to be checking out more of that. And so this is kind of that more folky side of Led Zeppelin a little bit. But then it's also incredibly progressive too, because they just go nuts. So, without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Led Zeppelin. Over the Hills and Far Away, Madison Square Garden, 1973, when I was still an egg. HD, here we go!
This is a track about, I suppose it's about you and me and everybody. You've probably written one just the same. Over the hills and far, far away.
Hey lady, you got the love I need. Maybe more than enough. Oh, darling, 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 walk a while with me. Oh, you got got so much. I really need so much. I have to have so much.
I know, that was cool.
That was.
So, I've avoided doing a live Led Zeppelin for the reason of what I'm about to just say. Okay,
Uh-oh.
I love the guitars, the bass, the drums were incredible. It was so good, and the singing was in tune and everything. But it was a totally different song. He's a totally different melody than the record. It's supposed to go, maybe is the love, but it's supposed to be higher. It's supposed to be higher consistently. The whole song. You didn't sing the song you wrote. You sang a different freaking song. You go, many is the way of silver linings. It's the same words, but he's singing down a freaking octave, and it didn't sound the same. I'm sorry, Robert, dude. You're being freaking lazy. I'm sorry. I ain't no Robert Plant. I'm not as good as him. I'm sorry. But, dude, come on. I know you could still do it. I know you had those notes. Well, why?
And Paige was just slop all over the place.
It was a little bit sloppy.
I love the Earl Cart's performance because he's just on point in that performance. But yeah, it was a little bit sloppy. Pretty weak in comparison. I mean, the bass and drums were synced in, but the guitar and the vocals were just too loose. I prefer the studio version over this. It was just throwing me off.
People keep commenting on we did when the levee breaks, the studio version. And it was just looking at the thumbnail, boring, right? And so people are like, you got to check out Zeppelin live. And I'm like, but I have. And I was let down a lot of times. Oh, no, you're not watching the right ones. Well, maybe this was another one of those ones that wasn't the right ones. It was, when I typed in Over the Hills and Far Away, it came up at the top. It had the most views. It seemed like it was going to be a really good one. And, the mix was good. The sound was good. And I love the reference to Acapulco Gold. I love that. That brings new meaning to the song to me. So it wasn't all bad. But I'm just one of these guys where I'm like, okay, you're going to be this incredible studio singer, and you're going to write these incredible melodies with your incredible voice, and then you're going to sell out the stadium, and then you're going to sing the song like lazy, like half singing your song, like the right words, but just not the right melody. And that matters, dude. That matters. I mean, maybe change a couple of them. Maybe. And maybe just at the end at least do it for me once. But he didn't. And I'm like, oh, come on. Robert. Break bar.
I guess I haven't heard the other one in a long time. So for me, I was kind of just... I mean, I enjoyed it because I haven't heard the other one in a very long time, so I just didn't remember, I guess. But I mean, I liked the guitar solos and stuff, and they were really good. I thought,
I feel like Zeppelin was possibly one of the best studio bands ever.
Yeah,
top 10 for sure. But live, and I'm not saying they sucked, but just from what I've seen, the live shows have either been loose or Robert Plant was just off. Now, that time he wasn't off. He was in tune. He was singing in key. He just wasn't singing the same melody that is on the record that they wrote that I was expecting. That's all.
I said, I think there's only really a few Zeppelin performances I can point to that are really good. And like I said, the previously mentioned Earl's Court, and then I actually really dig Song Remains the Same. And that, I thought that was, they pulled out all the decent live takes that they had and just squashed them all together. And it came out well, I think. But I've heard some a lot of different opinions on that. But
I mean,
anyway.
maybe what Robert Plant, he was trying not to pull a Geddy Lee, because Geddy Lee will come out and he'll sing those melodies. Even though his voice towards the end was not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at least I gave him an E for effort. At least he was giving it all his best to hit those notes like he used to, Mm-hmm. But I mean, that was in '73. Robert Plant was still young. Come on. Yeah. He was just being lazy.
Partying his ass off, probably. I would assume.
and I mean, even a lazy Robert Plant is still better than 9 out of 10 frontman anywhere. So, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt here. I'm a music teacher, and so I'm always listening for that.
And stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my job. So that's what you come here for me, to hear for.
Right. I think
Pardon?
Me being the non-guitar player, I don't hear some of the stuff that you guys do. But that's okay, right?
And I mean, it wasn't like super sloppy or anything. Some of those Jimmy Page things might have been improvised, I'm not sure. But there was a couple of parts where I was definitely like, I mean, it's live, so you got to forgive it, but I mean, it just isn't like this like super all-time classic rendition of this song that I was sort of hoping for. So
yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It just wasn't, 100%.
Right.
Well, and don't forget that, especially then in the 70s, you were still transitioning from more the hippie culture to something different, something a little bit more commercialized, and then
True.
the antithesis of that with punk. And live shows were not about like today, we get this thing like, oh, you have to have your cigarette going or else it's not live and perfect or whatever the case is. But it was more about the vibe. You turn your amp up, and to me, like hearing the Les Paul, like he had to have his volume on that guitar like super low for it to be that clean.
Yeah.
But the aspect of when you went to a show, you were going to a party. It wasn't like, hey, I'm going to watch people do something note for note on a record. I mean, that kind of wasn't necessarily invented in rock music yet. So the idea of like, hey, the band's partying.
Yeah.
They're like someone in the comments said, and going by my brother's testimony of many concerts that they attended in the 70s, you go and you don't really remember what happens. And you know what I'm talking about, and that's what you do. And that's what the band's doing. That's what everybody in the crowd is there going. And if you went there to hear music, well, you're going for the wrong thing. That's not it.
It's like going to a Fish concert these days, or any other random jam band.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not
you
the
know what
biggest
you're getting
Phish
into.
fan,
When you, I mean, okay, if you're going to a Fish concert and you're thinking, oh, you're going to see Real Big Fish or something, right?
Sell out.
I mean, it's just not the same. I'm sorry, it's not the same at all. They both have a partying vibe, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
But I'm serious. I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan. So if you are a huge Led Zeppelin fan, leave in the comments below what is the best live Led Zeppelin performances to react to, with Robert Plant performing the songs somewhat faithful to the originals. That's what I want to see, because most of the ones where I've seen, he was not faithful enough to the originals for my discerning, spoiled taste. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to all of our YouTube channels. We have Evelyn Holland, we have Kyle Walz, we have Jennifer's music page. Please subscribe to all of us, including myself, Matthew's Music Lesson Studio. Please remember, we pause for nobody. We never pause. That's what makes us so special. And so that means we get extra copyright claims. That means we get extra blocks. We get extra of the crap because we pause for nobody. It actually bites us in the bum a little bit. It does, really. And so, since our bums are bitten, that means that we are extra in need of your support. Please, patreon.com/Matthew's Music Lesson Studio for exclusive weekly bonus content. If you want to support me directly, you can go to liberapay.com/Matthew's Music. Liberapay is a cool French company. They do not take a cut. I like it. Non-profit. Non-profit.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
You're gonna get canceled so hard by French
I know you
people.
so hard.
Yep. Okay, buymeacoffee.com. You can buymeacoffee.com/Matthew's Music. I'm obviously, only a small part comedian, but there is a comedy aspect to what I'm doing here too, so smile and enjoy it. Venmo.com, you can send me a tip at Matthew's Music. So you can just buy me a coffee or you can Venmo me. And, all those things are good, I really appreciate you supporting the channel any way that you can. Please like, share, subscribe to all of our channels, and we'll see you guys next time on The Sound.